Hey guys, Rob here for Quadratec.com. Today we're checking out the line of Zero fridge freezers from ARB. Now before we get into today's product review, if you guys like these videos, do me a favor and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be sure to catch this as well as plenty more. The line of Zero fridge freezers was introduced to us from ARB at the 2019 SEMA show, and ARB has packed a ton of awesome function and features into their line of Zero fridge freezers. They've taken everything they've learned from producing their line of classic as well as their element fridge freezers over the past many years, and they've used that to create their new Zero lineup for us. Now the Zero is available in 4 different sizes. You have a 47 quart, a 63 quart, a 73 quart that I have here with me, as well as a 101 quart size that's even larger than this one. Now, one of the biggest features that sets apart the Zero line of fridge freezers from their previous generations is the inclusion of a new true dual zone functionality in both the 73 quart that I have here as well as the larger 101 quart. And that means that the line of Zero fridge freezers is going to do a whole lot more than simply keeping your sandwiches from getting soggy and all that melted ice in your cooler, but they're going to allow you to bring along everything that you not only want to keep cold, but everything that you want to keep frozen in a totally separate compartment that you have independent control of. So that means you can stay off grid for much, much longer. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm specifically going to be focusing on the 73 quart size that I have here with me. If you want to get more information on the other sizes of the Zero fridge freezers, you can click that info button to head over to Quadratec.com. Now, for starters, as you can see, the 73 quart version is a very large fridge. I've got my tape measure here and we can take a couple quick measurements. If we measure across the 73 quart, we'll see we come in at about 18.5 inches wide. From front to back, we're looking at about 29.5 inches. And from bottom to top, well, we're just under 22 inches tall. So that means that the 73 quart Zero fridge freezer is going to take up a fair amount of real estate. If you're putting this in the back of your Wrangler, it's going to use up quite a lot of the cargo space. Now, if you've got a Gladiator, obviously you've got a little bit more room. I think this fridge freezer is perfect for a setup like we have here with our Smittybilt Scout trailer on our large slide out here. It's going to allow us to pack a ton of food and stuff that we want to keep frozen so that we can stay off-grid camping for a very long time. Now, if we take a look at the front of the unit here, we can check out some of the cool features that ARB has packed. Right at the top here, you can see we've got a nice, large, comfortable handle. There's one at the back as well that makes lifting the Zero line of fridge freezers very easy. And then if we work our way down and see, we've got some really nice tie-down points here with the optional Zero fridge freezer tie-down kit. Snaps right into place. Of course, comes with these little tabs that you can secure to the fridge slide from ARB or your own custom setup like I've done here. Of course, you can tie them down to some existing tie downs if you've already got those in place. Next up, we'll see the control panel down here. And I like that ARB has taken the control panel from up high like it was on their classic line and moved it down low for the Zero. Makes it nice and easy to use and operate. And I'll come back to that in just a minute, but just below that control panel, we can see that ARB has also moved the power ports from the back side of the fridge here to the front, making them easier to access as well. All the way at the left, you can see we've got 110 to 240 volt connection here. And that's great because it means we can plug in the Zero at home to pre-chill it, pack it full of all of our cans and food that we want to keep cold to bring along with us. That way, when we drop it into our Jeep or into our trailer, it's already ready to go. Now, next over, once we're off grid, of course, we've got DC 12 and 24 volt connections here on the front. And the Zero does come with both of those cords for you. As you can see, I am running off of 110 right now. We've got the 12 volt connection here as well. Now, the other nice feature that ARB has done is not only is there a 12 volt port here on the front of the fridge, but there's also a second 12 volt port here on the back. So depending on where you're dropping your Zero, whether it's in the back of your Wrangler or in a trailer, it's going to give you some flexibility at reaching your 12 volt power port. It's a really nice feature. Now next up, if we move over farther down at the bottom here, we can see we've got an emergency override switch. And then just above that, another nice feature here, we've got a little USB port. And that's a great addition because it means if you've got your fridge powered up off of a battery, say in the back of our trailer here, I don't have a USB port, but with the Zero, I can simply plug in my charger, and now I can charge up my phone at my campsite as well. Now, if we move right back up to the control panel here, working left to right, we'll see we've got our power button. Then we have our boost button, which actually increases the speed of the compressor to help pre-chill both compartments of the Zero very fast. In fact, I plugged it in a little while ago and brought it down from room temperature to the temperature we're seeing here, 13 degrees Fahrenheit right now in my freezer compartment and 32 degrees Fahrenheit in my refrigerator compartment. It only took about an hour and a half to get down that low. That's pretty impressive. Now, because this is a true dual zone refrigerator freezer, I can change that setting at any time. I can make them both the same, and I can even swap out if I want a larger refrigerator compartment and a smaller freezer compartment, or vice versa, a larger freezer and a smaller refrigerator. I have that control. Next up, we've got our menu button here, and then our plus and minus for changing our temperature settings. Now, another really awesome feature that ARB has packed into the Zero fridge freezers is Bluetooth technology. So if we go ahead and download the ARB Zero Control app to our phone, hook it up with Bluetooth to the fridge, you can see we've got access to all the same readouts and controls that we do right there on the front display panel right here in the app. So we've got our readings for our small and large zones. We can also see what they're preset to. We can get an eye on the voltage. Right now we're in the green zone, so we know that voltage is good. And that is, of course, because I'm hooked up to grid power right now. We can also see that I'm currently running in boost mode because I'm trying to achieve that set temperature as fast as I possibly can. Now, down here at the bottom, we can change some of our settings. You can see here that we have our normal and our boost mode, and if I change that to normal, we get a confirmation and a readout change right there on the front of the fridge's control panel as well. We can also change from Celsius to Fahrenheit units. We have our sensitivity battery level here for low, medium, and high, and that's going to help protect our vehicle or our trailer's battery when the fridge is running. So at high setting, it's going to monitor that battery and cut off power to the fridge freezer as soon as that battery voltage starts to drop. Now, if we move that down to medium or low sensitivity, it's going to allow the fridge to draw more power out of the battery before it cuts off power to the fridge. So it allows you to prioritize either your vehicle's battery or the contents of your fridge freezer. That's a really nice feature that we have. Finally, down at the bottom, we see we've got 3 preset modes that we can change there. I've got my mode 1 set to the small compartment, 0 degrees as a freezer, the larger compartment at 34 for a refrigerator. And then I've got my other 2 modes set up to make either the whole fridge a refrigerator or the entire fridge freezer a freezer with both compartments at 0 degrees. And if we go back, we can see how easy it is to click and change between those different modes, going from mode 1, and you can hear that audible confirmation on the display panel, or we can switch to, say mode 2 and have both of them be a refrigerator. That audible and visual confirmation is a very nice feature on the front of the control panel. And having the Bluetooth technology packed into the phone is great because it means you can not only monitor the status of your fridge freezer, whether you're from the driver's seat or somewhere in your campsite, but you can also change the settings as well. I love the fact that that Bluetooth technology is built right into the Zero fridge freezer. Now, moving up on top of our 73 quart Zero, we see that we do have one large lid to access both compartments, a refrigerator and freezer compartment, inside of the 73 quart model. Now, the larger 101 quart model actually has dual lids to access each of those separately controlled compartments. If we go ahead and open up the one large lid, you can see just how much storage space we have inside the 73 quart Zero. So I've got this larger component set up here to be my refrigerator space, and it's a multi-tiered section that even accommodates very tall items, which is really nice. And then under this separate lid here, we've got our freezer compartment. And this lid helps to keep that really cold temperature down inside our freezer compartment. So you can see I've got some frozen vegetables as well as some ice cream, freeze pops, and well, some other stuff we like to keep extra cold down in there. Now, moving back to the refrigerator section, Like I mentioned, it is a multi-tiered section here. So you can see that we've got, if we take a couple of the items out of the way here, we've got access down low to a very deep section of the fridge freezer here. And we even have this really nice little trap door feature here that we can lay down to divide up our contents here. We have that lower section for items that we don't need to access that often. We can stack stuff on top here, or if we've got some taller items that we need to keep stored, we lift up that little flap, push down, locking it into place. And now not only can we access that lower compartment here, but if we've got some taller items, well, we can drop those in, allowing them to stick up through. It's really nice to have that flexibility to store larger items in here in a vertical way, so we don't have to worry about anything spilling, whether we're just sitting at the campsite or whether we're headed down the road or down the trail, of course. In addition, you can also see we do have an LED light in here to help illuminate the contents of our fridge freezer at night. And should we decide to make this one large compartment, if we need that little bit extra space here, well, we can even go as far as removing this divider out of the fridge freezer to help maintain even temperature throughout the unit. It's a really nice feature. And then, of course, everything's been designed with these removable baskets that allow us to not only get easy access to everything and keep everything organized, but it also makes it really easy to pack your fridge freezer inside, already have it running out in your Jeep or your trailer, bring everything out, load it, unload it. I love how much thought that ARB has put into the Zero line of fridge freezers. Now, if we go ahead and drop our divider back in, our cover there on our freezer section, we're going to go ahead and lift back up our divider, allowing us some really tall storage in there. Finally, there's one more feature that I like to point out, and that is the reversible lid on the Zero fridge. It's really easy to snap that lid off, move it around, and lock it back in place so that you can customize the Zero fridge freezer for wherever you're storing it, whether it be in the back of your Jeep or like I have here in the back of the trailer. Now, if you guys want to get more information or to purchase an ARB Zero dual zone fridge freezer for your next adventure, you can click that info button to head over to quadratec.com. Of course, if you have any comments or questions at all about the line of Zero fridge freezers from ARB, you can always leave those for us in the comment section below or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. Till next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trail.